welcome to Lunchtime with me and one of my other very special guests, one of my star clients joining us all the way from the UK. But before I get to introducing her, I want to know who's having lunch with us today. I see Donna. Donna was waiting for us already. That's one of my clients in the runway to saw. Donna has been waiting with us and for this lunchtime series on YouTube. She wrote, waiting and watching from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. She was actually here even before the time. So, Donna, welcome. We're so happy to have you with us. She says she's glad to be here to support us. Thank you so much. Ladies, drop in the chat. Let us know where you're joining us from. And in the meantime, I want to introduce you to Marva Hyatt, joining us all the way from the UK, as I mentioned. Marva, welcome to Lunchtime with me and our special guest. Well, you are our special guest, but our ladies who are joining us from all over the world.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's all you want to say? Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you're probably feeling a little shy right now, but I know the shy woman is totally gone. So tell our viewers, tell our ladies a little bit about yourself.
Okay. As I said before, my name is Marva Hyatt, and I am originally from the breathtaking island of Jamaica. Currently, I'm living in the UK, and to be exact, I'm living in Walsall. That's close to Birmingham. Yeah, that's close to Birmingham. And I'm a social worker. I've been a social worker for many years now. Prior to being a social worker, I was a police officer in Jamaica for 16 years. And I am married. I have three children, well, men rather, big men, and two stepsons, and they are my world. I also have two friends. You know, they support me very well in everything I do. They're always behind me, and that is, I call them Sister Mary and Sister Winsome. Yes, I have four grandchildren.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes, and yeah, that's my world. That's who I am.
Awesome. That's part of who Marva is. And
Yeah.
so we're excited to have you here in Lunchtime. Just settle the nerves, shake it out because it's all just ladies just who are here to support you, who are here to just celebrate you and your
Amen.
work. So Marva, we met. I remember doing a program at your church, but was that no, that was not the first time that we met actually. We met in 2016, August.
Yes, we met. You were doing a program in Wolverhampton Church, you and your
Yes.
husband. And at that time, I was going through a transition in my diet, and I bought a lot of material on diet and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
after that, we got connected again because you had to call me and we had a conversation. And I was telling you about what I was doing in terms of prayer, or you know,
Awesome.
I was taking my spiritual life to the next level, and I was interested in knowing more about prayer, how to get yes answers, and so on. And you
Yeah.
told me about a beautiful program that you have, you know, the prayer ministry.
The
And
pro
when you told,
class, certified
yeah,
prayer counselor class.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And when you told me about the work you're doing in prayer, I'm like, you know, that's a lot for just me. That's a lot of information. I want to share it with my church. I want to share that with my church. And I invited you to my church, and then you did a program there. That
Hmm.
was an amazing program. And I'm like, yes, yes, this is really helpful for me. And then after that, because I was the one who had organized that program, I didn't get to really take it in as much as I would want to. Because you know you're the organizer, you're behind it doing everything. But the following year, I think it's the following year, or sometime after, you came back to the UK on another program, and I
Yeah.
was able to sit in and just take that all in, you know. And at that time, it was at that time I signed up for the prior certified prior counselor course. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I was doing a week of prayer at a church that was a little close enough to your church. And I had finished my program and then I came over to Wolverhampton Central, but I was at Aston Newtown
Yes.
church. And so that's where we met. So we met by chance because I wasn't supposed to, or so it appears, I wasn't
So it
supposed to
is.
be at Wolverhampton Central. I came there because I finished early. And that's the first evening that I met you. And we
Yeah.
kept in touch and so on. And we did the program. Then you signed up for the prayer class. You went through all of this stuff. And then you came into the speaker program. So from the prayer class, you came into the speaker program. What were you looking for when you reached out to me about the speaker mentorship program?
Yes, you had sent me some email in regards to what you were doing in a speaker mentorship program. And because I did the prior counselor course and um, I got a wealth of information, it really took my prayer life to the next level. When I saw the speaker mentorship program, I said, I would want to do something like this because what happened is that I felt I was growing on the inside, but people around me saw that growth on the outside. And
Wow.
they were saying to me that I saw you on a bigger stage, a bigger platform, and you should do more. And I'm like, no, because those who know me, I'm a sort of a private person. And I'm like, I'm trying to keep it quiet, but they're saying, no, I think you should, you should go and do more. And I said, Lord, if really, if this is what you're calling me to do, then I need to do it properly. I need to do it professionally. I need to do it well. I don't settle for mediocrity. So I said, I want to learn how to do it properly. And then when I saw your email, it speak directly to me, and that's how I signed up.
Awesome. I'm really, really happy to hear that because I hear people say all the time, I read that email and it's like you were speaking directly to me. But for the sake of our viewers and our listeners and those who are joining us who took the time just to want to know a little more, let's talk a little bit about your backstory and we'll come back to your journey in the program because a lot happened to you while you were going through the program. And I want them to know about that. But let's talk about your backstory that we actually would have discovered in the program that you have a story to tell. What is like that major focus? What is your backstory actually when it relates to what we've worked on that we're going to talk about?
Well, actually, I am a teen mom, twice teen mom, that is. Yes, I grew up, as I said, in Jamaica, and I grew up in a very dysfunctional background, I must say. And life was very hard. We were very poor,
Mhm,
and I dropped out of school, and I got pregnant quite early,
mhm,
and not only once but twice.
mhm,
And it was a very difficult journey for me,
mhm.
and at that time I didn't know it, but
Yeah.
God was with me and was directing me, you know, and I went through all that difficulty. I rise above those difficult situations, and
Mhm,
I went into the police force. And when I went into the police force, then I started impacting young people. And
mhm,
not only young people, but quite a lot of people. I did a lot of work in the police force, you know, and in my work as social worker as well,
mhm,
I see that those difficulties, I may call that, daily, and I always use my experience, to help others. In an unofficial capacity,
mhm,
I was really doing that work, so to speak, because I could relate, I could understand what they are going through because of
mhm,
the experience I have had as a teen mom from a very poor and dysfunctional background. And
mhm,
I felt the Lord was calling me to a ministry in that field, because every time I would tell people about my story, I would get amazing results and feedback. And
mhm,
I said that, Lord, if you really want me to go there and to tell others what you've done for me, then provide that opportunity, provide that person who can guide me, who can lead me, who can you know hold my hand to go through this purpose in this process so I can do it properly.
Right. So you went from being a teenage mom, pregnant mom twice, to
Yeah.
becoming a police officer who's now able to now help young people probably make better decisions in life and so on. then migrating to the UK, and now you work as a social worker, working with young people who were just like you, at
Yes.
risk and so on. I mean, that's powerful. That's really amazing, the journey that you've been on, and now you come into the speaker mentorship program. What were the results were you looking for? What did you really want? You wanted somebody, you say, to guide you through the process, right? And so what did you see that I can help you with that you probably couldn't find somewhere else?
Okay. I wanted clarity. Yes, because there's a lot inside of me that
Mm-hmm.
I want to tell, as I said, but how to do it, there's a way how to do it. There's a process that I didn't understand. So I
Mm-hmm.
want that clarity. I wanted that guidance. I wanted, is it okay to say certain things or it's not okay? Is it okay to bring all this, as I call it, my garbage out in the front? Is it okay to do something like that? Because I grew up in the church where sometimes you can feel like it's not okay to talk about what you've been through. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
quiet and stuff like that. Where when all of us are going through that thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wanted that kind of guidance and that kind of support in launching a speaking career.
So did you get that in the program?
Oh yes, you aced it.
So talk to us a little bit about your journey in the program. So you're in the speaker mentorship program. It's a group program that you're in, and I'm working with 8 of you ladies at the same time. And there were many times that I know that you were checking, not checking out of the program, but kind of trying to check out of your story because you were going some places. So, what was it like for you going through that program? Talk to us about that journey of, going through and uncovering whatever. What was it like for you?
One, it was very therapeutic, I must say. Just writing my story because actually I've never done that before. I
Mm-hmm.
know it in my head, but I've never really processed it, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So writing, having to write that down on paper and look at it and then read it out aloud, you
Hmm.
know. I remember when I had to present it to the group, if you recall, I brought down,
Yeah.
because when I really look what I've been through and listen to myself, it did something inside. But then I needed to do that. I needed to go through that process so I can have that mind shift because a lot of things I locked it away inside my mind,
Mm-hmm.
not wanting to talk about that,
Mm-hmm.
because it sometimes I think about it, it can be embarrassing, humiliating, I don't want to feel stigmatized and judged and all of that. And a lot of time my sons will ask questions
Mm-hmm.
and I like not wanting to say and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
being in the program have given me, that confidence, that voice, that given the me that I was hiding, that came right out during that program. I was able to face some of my fears.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's powerful. So you in the back of your mind, I know I have this amazing story. One, you never wrote it down. And part of the process in the speaker mentorship program is having to literally write out that
Yes.
story. Actually, we were working on creating what your signature story, your signature presentation would be. And so I remember you going through that process, and I remember how painful it was for you. I remember when you broke down. I remember one session we literally had to just scrap the session and just focus on you and praying for you, just holding you through that kind of thing because digging was a little painful, was it?
Yes, it was. And that's what I like about the program because yes, it's an investment in ourselves in terms of finance and so on, but you weren't just there for that money.
Mhm,
That's what I find with you.
mhm,
You are interested in us as a person and what we are going through.
mhm.
You're genuine, you're open, and I love that openness about you. You know, you make yourself vulnerable to us and vice versa.
Right.
And we felt comfortable. We felt like it was a safe space,
Mhm.
to have that dialogue.
Yeah, and so I remember, as you say that, that's really what the program is about. It's because as we went through, I mean, I literally had to ask some people to go to counseling, get counselors for some folks, because as we were doing the digging, there was healing, and even Jamila is writing now. She's saying writing is healing because we know how much she was being healed through her writing as well. But now
Mm,
you spoke about the shame and the fears that you had in the back of your mind, that fear of being open and vulnerable about these past stories of yours, even with your sons. And so part of the process that you went through was
mm.
really just looking at how can I use my story to impact others and get rid of the judgment of others. People criticizing me for sharing my baggage or what I used to carry, because I mean, that's not baggage anymore. That's stuff that's helping you to transform lives, right?
Growth.
But I remember your son specifically said something to you during the program that you shared with us, which was really powerful. And I think you could share that with our audience today.
Because during the program, I was still hiding.
Yes.
I was still like not wanting to say these things because
Mhm.
they're quite hurtful, and I
Yeah.
didn't want to say that. And I was telling my son about it. And he said, Mommy, if you're telling your story, tell your story. Be real. Be real, Mommy. Say it. Open up and say it. It's behind us now. Say your
Mhm.
story. Tell your story, Mommy. It's your story. Tell it. So he was just there telling me that I must be just be frank and just say what it is.
Mhm.
That gave me confidence as well.
Yeah, because I think after he told you that, it took you to another level of having that confidence you're speaking about. Because before that, you were still kind of dilly dallying with what to say and what not to say. And that's the thing a lot of times about many of us as women is that we have these stories. You have already gone through the story. God has already taken you on the other side of the story. But now we have a responsibility to use that experience, use our journey and the transformation that we had to be able to help other people who are on the other side of these same problems we used to have. And a lot of
Yeah.
times, as women, we're so ashamed of these stories because, as you mentioned early on in church, we're not supposed to talk about our past or our mistakes. The thing is, we're talking about it not in a place of feel sorry for me, but in a place of I need to use what was meant for evil in my life for good. And so,
Yeah.
what we do, which really hurts me, is that so many of us sit on our hands. That's how I describe it. We kind of put our hands under our laps and we kind of like put it there because we're trying to keep ourselves stable. But the very thing that we're trying to hide is what the world actually needs.
Yes.
So I've traveled all around. I've traveled all over the world already, 70 something countries, and I have not come across somebody who's speaking to ex teenage moms or focusing specifically on teenage pregnant mothers and helping them to rise. And here you were, the Lord now opens the door because you've been praying. You get into a program and you were very decisive, even though you were so scared, which was something admirable because you were very afraid. Marva, when we started, you were shy. Literally, if you could have shown up with your camera off, you would. But I said, no, cameras on. You were so shy, but so many things happened to you during the program that blew my mind and the minds of the ladies. And one of them, you were at an event.
Yes, I was at an event, and there was something that was being discussed there, and I just find myself at the front of the queue addressing, sorry, addressing the sorry, addressing the president. I just find myself at the front of the queue speaking up on a topic that is very passionate, that is very close to my heart, and. Probably if it wasn't for this program, I would have just sit quiet and say nothing, But what I've learned and how I've grown in the program, it gave me that confidence to be able to speak up. Yeah.
And you
So I was
spoke up
happy for
and
that.
you said, when
And
you
now,
were speaking, you were like, is that me speaking? It was almost like an outer body experience for you.
yes, I just hear myself saying things. I couldn't believe it. I just hear myself just saying things.
And I
Yeah.
remember you saying to us, I'm so shocked. I mean, I could not believe that I was on the mic speaking. I could not believe that it was me talking and stuff. And so you began to develop confidence, and it showed from our first session into the time when that happened to you. Like, this is a whole other Marva, because you were shocked and you were like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe I did that. And after the program, so many people came to you and they're like, they were shocked. I guess
Yes,
shocked as you were, and so on. And I mentioned one other thing, but Jamila is saying the program breaks down our glass walls.
it did.
And that's that's what happened with you. The other thing is, during the program, as you began to develop more confidence in yourself and stuff, even after you decide to develop confidence, there was a time I saw you dipping again, but I guess it's because you were writing more, and so more things were coming up, but you were able to also negotiate a promotion.
Yes, yes. It wasn't a promotion of such, but
Right.
it was I was in a better position on my
Right.
job
Yeah.
because there were things happening and I didn't want to rock the boat, even though it affected me deeply. I didn't want to rock the boat and all of that. But because of the confidence I developed in this program, I was able to address that appropriately in my workplace, which put me in a better position,
Right.
in terms of my work life. I have better work life balance, lower caseload, just in a better place,
Yeah.
financially better off as well, I must
Awesome.
mention.
Yeah. I mean, we were so proud of you when it is you were able to report that. And so what I'm seeing, or what I saw happen with you, is that the speaker mentorship program gave you your voice in general. It
It
gave you
did.
a voice in your workplace. It helped you to develop your voice in for the speaking platform that you're now going to take, where you're going to help ex-teenage moms, where you're really gonna, you tell our audience a little more about what you'll be doing. But what I saw from you is that major growth, that confident woman emerges, and it's like you're feeling like, who is she? Who is that lady, and stuff like that. And so what would you say was your greatest aha moment in during the program? What were your biggest breakthroughs, your greatest transformations, anything?
Um, there have been quite a few, be honest, and we just mentioned some, but also the fact that I come to realize now that what my purpose is really.
Wow.
I get to understand purpose. When you're walking, when you're living within your purpose, you have a different feeling totally. You're not only show up, but you're present. Whenever you are doing something, you know that this is what I'm meant to be doing. You feel good about it. You have the backing of the Lord, and you know that you have the backing of the Lord because He shows you and He tells you. Like for example, I remember when you said that we should ha- um, get 5 speaking engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And
Like,
I'm like, me? Okay. Mm. That is what I was saying. But the Lord said, yes, yes, you. And I remember that whilst at this function, a very big function, probably I think about 300 or so people were there. I got at the end of the program, I got an email on my a message on my phone from a pastor inviting me to speak at his church. And I'm like, you sent it to the wrong person. It could not be me, And I was with my sister, and she said, oh, just tell him that we don't do those things. No, no, no. And I
wow.
immediately the Lord spoke to me. So that's for you. And I said, yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna say yes to this, and then I'll talk to the Lord about it. So I said yes to that speaking engagement. I went off and I did it. But before that, it's like my world was just tearing apart, and I knew I was on the right track because the devil didn't want me to do what the Lord asked me to do. So I push on anyway, And again, it's the prior module that we did, the prayer session I've been through, and the confidence I develop, and understanding my purpose and all of that, that tells me that I was on the right path. And I went and I did this presentation. I can't call it sermon. I did this presentation, and that was my first time, doing a presentation of such. And I'm like, Lord, you work in some amazing ways, because I didn't go out looking any speaking engagement, and send persons to me.
Yeah, and so the thing is, were you planning to do the assignment? Though I gave you all that challenge, were you? I think you were trying not to do the challenge, and so the Lord began to bring the speaking engagements to you. And since then, you've done quite a few speaking engagements, and things
Yes,
are good.
yes, yes, I have. And the funny thing about it is that it's not me. I didn't go out looking them. The Lord sent them to me. And
Mm.
this is why I know that I am living within my purpose at this
Yes,
time. And I just want to say thank you so much for helping me to discover what my purpose is really.
yes, praise the Lord. So, what did you enjoy most about the process of working with me?
Um, One of the things I like, as I said before, I like your openness, your care, the fact that you not only care about the work that we're doing per se, but our personal growth.
Mhm.
I like that about you. I like the sisterhood, in the group, because of the because it's a group session. We've learned so much. We've become sisters
Yes.
from all over, and I love that. Just to know that there are others you can call on. You're going through the same journey, so that is brilliant for me. You know.
Awesome. Yeah, I asked that question specifically because I knew that you were going to talk about that sisterhood that we had in that group program, and I love it. So, Marva, you are working and you're getting the chairs, the ladies are cheering you on, you doing that work. If people want to find you because you're speaking about defying odds and you defied odds, your life is about defying odds, where can people find you? Because you went from two-time teenage pregnant mom, police officer, now social worker, and you are the example of what define odds look like. Where can they find you to book you for speaking engagements?
Okay. Um, on Facebook, and
Okay.
also on YouTube and LinkedIn, and also email. If I give you
What
my
is
email, it is defyodds.all@gmail.com. Yes, there. Defy
awesome? So I have it
odds
here on the
all.
screen. This is Marva's email. If you're looking for a brave person, somebody to speak about define odds, deliver that taboo topic, I also just dropped all of your information there in the chat. You can check it out. You get her email, you also get her phone number. You can check her out on social media. Define, you get it right here, defineodds.all@gmail.com, because Marva has that passion and she has that confidence. And I mean, again, your growth, just seeing you grow has been something so amazing. Just to
Thank
see
you.
the woman, it's crazy, but it's like the woman you've become. We're talking specifically as it relates to your speaking, as it relates to your presence, your confidence, and everything. And so, if you had to tell anyone else if they were, is this program a good program for you? And so, what would you say to them?
It is a brilliant program. It is the best investment I've made in 2021. It is the best investment I've made. To embark on this program, I would tell anybody that if you have a story to tell, if you want that guidance, want that one-to-one, book yourself. Dr. Collins, you have been amazing. You know, as you said, you can see my growth, on the program. As I said before, you're not only just interesting in teaching us about how to present per se, but in us as a person. And for me, if you take the time out to invest in me, like that, that's a bonus, you know.
Awesome. So Marva, what's next for you? Apart from you, the fact that your speaking platform is blowing up, what's next for you?
Okay, currently I'm writing a book.
Yeah.
All this information, oh, I have defy odds. It will be in a book, and I'm currently on in the book program with yourself. And that again is amazing. And our book is coming out soon. Yes, and we'll talk more about that.
Yes, I am so excited for you, Marvin, the work that you're doing, and that you just went from being behind the scenes and just trusting God to take you to the front, to the stage. And now you're working on that book. We're going to have you featured later on in the year in March, where you will talk about that book. I'm just excited for the work that God will continue to do through you and your lady, your sister friends are. Look here, Jamila is Jamila has the theme song. This girl is on fire. Yes. And so, yes, Marva, hear what somebody said about you. Marva was able to lay aside the Jonas spirit and go wherever God leads. Praise God. Amen. Stalin says, God bless you as you impact others. We just have ladies just, hailing you on and some of the names. Winston Hyatt. Is that the hobby?
Yes, he is.
The hubby
He's
is
my biggest cheerleader.
Yes, he's cheering you on big time. He's saying, Helen, Princess, love you. So, yeah, I'm so excited for you. Lisa says, your son is an inspiration. Marva, thank you so much for taking the time to come on lunchtime with Dr. Nadine and our friends all over the world who are here cheering you on. We're excited about your growth and we look forward to seeing what the Lord continues to do in your life as you meet the needs of young people who need to also understand and know that they can defy odds and become who God has created them to be. So
Amen.
we thank you, our viewing audience, for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow where we feature another lady on the Lunchtime series.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.